So I had the chance to take the outer island out on the water for the very first time. My wife and I went for an early morning paddle nearby. It was fantastic. It handled so much better than I expected. First of all, it floated. Second, no water seemed to come into the hatches, thankfully. I don't have a skirt that fits the ocean cockpit yet, but I just used my regular skirt. It's not tight, but at least it kept in place enough for me to test it a little bit later on. So primary and secondary stability, awesome, rock solid. It felt very stable. I mean, it's so flat on the bottom, it definitely would. And then even though it doesn't have hard chines, that secondary still feels really good when you get it up on edge. It feels like it's locked in there. And that takes me to the next point, which is because it's so long, 18 feet long, I thought, and many people had said it would be really hard to turn because it doesn't really have much rocker. However, because secondary stability is so strong, when you use that outer edge and drop a bow rudder, it still easily started spinning. It didn't turn as fast as some of the other kayaks that are just so much more playful, but I thought it was going to really handle a little bit more like an aircraft carrier. And instead, as long as you're giving it that edge, that stern starts skidding across. I did try doing an inside turn with a low brace, and definitely the stern was digging in. I mean, the way you would expect. But with kayaks that have more rocker, you can get away with that, where with this one, I think it's going to be all about using that outer edge and then spreading the peanut butter on the toast. If you've never heard that term, or unlocking the stern, for example, when you put the kayak on edge, you get to go on one edge or the other. If you put it on the outer edge, as you take a turn, you're essentially getting the stern to unlock and then spread across the water, rather than if you put it on the inside edge and then try to turn, that stern tries to lock into the water. Speed was good, acceleration was really interesting. It just took a little bit of oomph and it got going very quickly. I think having that much of a waterline does help. So it might not be the fastest kayak out there, but for the type of kayaks that I usually paddle, this one definitely felt fast. Knee positioning was good. Ocean cockpit was easy to get in and out of, no problem. I did not try a wet exit yet, but what I did try, I did lay back for a couple of sculling braces, and then when I felt good enough, I dropped it all the way in and then rolled back up. Now, the foam on the bulkhead is not far enough in to make good contact with my feet, so I wasn't really resting my feet on the bulkhead. It was mostly just having my knees and thighs connecting with the kayak. And even then, once I locked my legs in, it really felt like it was so easy to twist my hips and be able to bring it about. Also, I think because it doesn't have hard chines and it's just so low volume and that back deck is so low, it was so easy to get it to slide under my back as I brought it up every time. I'm sure that once I get my feet involved as well, it's going to be even easier. But so far, awesome. And also, because I don't have a skirt that fits really well, water was kind of coming in as I was doing it every time. Doesn't matter, it felt awesome, and I can't wait to try it with a full skirt and full contact with my feet. One more thing to note is because this one doesn't have a back band to allow for me to lay back, and because I was trying to scoot up forward to have good contact, found myself trying to sit up straight, and it's funny how much I cheat whenever I have a back band that's keeping me in place. Here, being scooted up, I found myself kind of sagging every so often and trying to remind myself to sit up straight. So what that means is I need to continue working on flexibility, and I need to continue strengthening my core. It does have foam in the back, so if I wanted to, I could just sit a little bit further back and use the foam on the back, but I do want to try to get better at being scooted all the way forward. Being all the way back doesn't give you as much flexibility and movement than if you are scooted all the way up to the front of the coaming of the cockpit. It is a little heavier than my Illusion. I haven't weighed it yet, but I know that the Illusion comes in around, I don't know, 45, 47 pounds. So this one is definitely a little bit heavier. I'm thinking this one is in the 50s somewhere, maybe a little bit more, but the layup is nice and thick and it feels like it would be really durable. For a first test, it did fantastic. I can't believe what a great find it was. If you haven't seen Dan's overview of his dagger yet, I'm putting a link to it here. It looks fantastic, and he is up next. I don't know if he's going to be testing it on an actual long trip, if he's doing a short overview, or if he's going to do an overnighter camping, because his is a lot bigger. He's a bigger guy, but he also wanted something with lots of space, like high volume, built like a tank, something that was old school that he could take on trips. and I think he found an awesome boat. So if you have anything to add, any questions, or if you've paddled on Outer Island and you want to give your overview, or if you've paddled any other Greenland style fiberglass kayak or skin on frame that you want to give your opinion on, I'm sure people would find it helpful. I know I always do whenever we're searching for things online. I hope that was helpful. Subscribe if you'd like. I'm always trying to put these videos out. And as always, look over at Kayak Hipster. Thank you for watching. See you next time.